Welcome. Hello. Hey, welcome. How are you? Want to welcome all of you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. How are we doing? Hey, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. It's great to see all of you. I have started this project a few days ago, or actually last week, but I never got a chance to complete it. Hopefully that I can get some done tonight. How are we doing? Say hello to all of you as well. Hello, welcome. I I started this project a few days ago. Actually, I haven't got chance to work on it much. Um, I'm making square beanie or granny square beanie. This is fun project because it is winter, and for those who love beanie, this would be a great project for you also. Okay, and crochet is fun for me. It is. So I already have 3 pieces done. So this might be a big beanie for someone who have a lot of hair like me. or or yeah, it's, I don't know. It's, you'll get somebody who had a lot of hair. I heard that the granny square beanie was like very hot in the market and people would go to great length to pay for. So lucky me. Hey, let me see. Let me read your name. uh, Fesificel. I'm sorry, I'm not good with name. Forgive me. Said hello also. Welcome. So great to have you on here. Welcome, my all of you. Been such a great audience and followers. I enjoy that a lot. So I started this project a few days ago. Probably more than a few days because I never got around to finish it. So I start with in the middle here, okay? In fact, I'm building my first heart, my first set of heart. So to create the square, so I need 4 of everything. So this is the one of the simple project, but it's gonna be super cute because it's gonna, so once it bind, okay, so it's gonna be like this this part right here was sticking out like a little horn or little, I don't know what it's symbolic of. Okay, I'm not, I hope that it's not symbolic of something crazy, but people said that it's a cat ears. Like, so when you put the square together, the 4 square together, it's supposed to create some kind of illusions of having ears. I never done what happened to my, oh dang, there's no cat, no dog around here. I guess when I move it around too much. So the illusions of having ears is like a hot thing right now. I think either want to look like cat or look like somebody, not ourselves, because we human, we don't have ears. So I was saying last time that this pattern here, it has big holes. Okay, so it may not like keep you warm, completely warm, but I mean keep your head warm, but it will be stylish. Oh, thank you. How do you call your name? Jojo? Thank you for subscription. I appreciate you. I wish I can send you hearts. Welcome all of you. So I can't wait until this is done. Okay, so I'm working on my last piece, which is I started earlier last night. I got invited to be on one of my followers. He was on live, so he got me to co-host. It was nice. So we just rambling, talking about everything. So it wasn't even relevant topics. We're talking about North Poles and Iceland and Russia and China and Cambodia and all that. We were like went off the topic. It wasn't any topic, which is a Sunday kind of conversation. I think. So I didn't get a chance to cook today. No, I cooked dinner for family, but I recorded it and I will turn into like a short videos. And I have my dessert waiting in line to be executed, but then today I was busy with my mom and she needed to be seen by her primary care. So what I did for mom today is she's back on antibiotic again, numerous of times already. I'm not gonna include what her diagnostic is, but it's just an ongoing chronic thing. And then because so this is what I learned about, well, didn't pick me on my mom again because she can't understand a lot what I'm saying anyway. So this is what I learned about my mom, that I love her kindly, but then because I'm hard of hearing because I wear hearing aid right here, right? So this piece of device here is it was quite expensive when we got it, like 2,700 or something like that. So I had this like 2000. I probably have this like 2012. So I still have it. It's working pretty good. The reason I have this on because I have tinnitus, meaning the ringing in the ears, and now I'm deaf on my right side, so I can't hear anything anyway. So with this hearing devices, it was not help improving my hearing, but it helped minimize the ringing in the ears. So if you one of those people that have ringing in the ears, it's just nasty, you know. When I first have it, I had so much hard time dealing with it. It's just driving me crazy because it does, it ringing. And if you don't know, you never experienced the ringing in the ears, it sound like the car alarms, like, the sometimes it depends on the stress level. Okay, so if the stress is pretty high, then and the volume is also high, and if I eat well, I rest really well, and now the hearing doesn't, I mean the ringing does not disappear. It just It just that it just that I just have more strength to deal with it. And the ringing does not subside. The only time that I don't hear it is when I'm sleeping. Um, so by now, I was diagnosed with these chronic illnesses many years ago. So I got used to it now. It doesn't bother me as much anymore, and it's gone unnoticed unless I'm by myself quietly, and then I begin to hear it really loud, especially if I am under a lot of stress. So I trying to minimize stress by exercise and do these right here will help me minimize my stress. It doesn't matter who we are. We don't have stress. I mean, millionaires stress about what they can do with the money and how they're going to invest and make more money. And then for people who didn't have as much, and then we worried about not having enough, and people who don't have jobs and worry about what the next meal going to come, when where the next rent money going to come. So we have those things, and sometimes we bombarding with family issue, health issue, uh, name it. I mean, I don't know, is anybody in the stress-free land? I would love to move into that land to be in the stress-free land. So it depends. It's manageable. Stress is manageable. So if you do have high stress level from work, from family, from life, so the best is to distract it, is to do something either for yourself or for others. The statistics say that people who know how to manage their stress in a proper manners live longer, because it affects our whole well-being, because stress could lead to other health issues, especially if we already have existing health issues, and when the stress coming on, and well, stress is not being managed, and then that really escalate the health that we already have bombarded with. So I do this not because I'm good at this, okay? I do this because it help manage the stress. It help because with the ringing itself, it's already driving me crazy. So when I occupy myself doing things, it helped me forget about the problem that I have. It may not go away, but some of the problem may not go away. But you know what? Sometimes we just, if it doesn't go away, then packed it, live it. Because this is what Christian teaching. Okay, if you're not Christian, hear me out, and just hear me out. Um, that what Christ said, that he will help carry yoke. Yoke is like this piece of wood, and that you can attach basket, water or rice or human, you just carry it, but you have to balance it though. The yoke is just like a piece of uh, it's just a piece of wooden that had a little hook like on the end, and then you can put item on both sides so you can balance it. I used to do that when I was in Cambodia, in Thailand, when there was no water. The government allow us to go out of the camp into where the water holes is, or where the well is, and then we pump the waters and carry the water back into the camp, and on a yoke. So we have two bucket with strings tied to the yoke on both ends, and then we carry it on our shoulder. And I remember when we carried so much that my shoulder started to build callus. Or when it started to build callus, then it had like a better resistance. But it's heavy though. When you walk, that thing bounce like this. It bounce along with you. And then the water also spilled. Yeah. So started with a full bucket of waters, and then it's a long trip, sometimes we'll take a break in between before we get back into the camp or to the destinations. So then, yeah, the faster you go, because the yoke that we made is not, it's not a hard yoke. It's made out of bamboo sticks, so it's bendable. So when it's too, when we use two bucket of water is about what, it could be about 10, 20 pounds or 30 pounds on both ends. Then we have about 50, 60 pounds, and you carry it on your shoulder, and then you just, you know bouncing right around trying to get to water to the for the family. And by the time you get to the family, you have about, I mean, two third of the bucket. Because on the, I mean, on the journey there, we like when it's bouncing, the water spilled, it helped lighten your burden. So, oh yeah, I experienced those things. That's why I said growing up in Cambodia or in Thailand in a refugee camp, it shaped my life so badly. I started working early because it's not because we don't have money, because there was nowhere to spend the money. Isn't that funny? Is that um, because we had our own farm, we have our own vegetation, the waters from the well, and we have transportation by oxen cart and bicycle. We go by foot. We have we have vegetation that grow. You want, if I wanted mushroom, just go gather some from the wood. If I want straw mushroom, then it grew on the rice stalk. So it's if I want some fruits, there's plenty. So you want something sweet, then there's honey. I don't try to get honey because I remember when my grand my grandparents, my parents, and at the time when great grandparents was still alive, and they are skill hunter. They skill hunter, food gatherers, and they even skill in catching elephants. I remember when my great grandparents, um, like the whole village men with rope this big, with the domesticated elephant. I think I talked about that before. Um, that they would go into the deep jungle, and I don't know how they catch the elephant, because I never been on the trip before. They don't let kid to go with them because it's dangerous to catch elephant, because elephant can kill a man in like this, like and just because elephant have tendency to step on you. Once they apprehend you, or got you on the ground, and that's it. He will just lay his foot and stomp on you until you, unalive. So, but then they have elephant charmers, just like snake charmers. You don't just you don't just bring any man uh, to go hunt for elephant. They don't eat elephant. Okay, when elephant die, Cambodian people or Thai people or Laotian people will take care of the elephant funerals. They have proper burial because they believe that elephants are the holy animal. And that's what I don't understand, is that if elephant was like a holy animals, and I don't understand why they even domesticated and make them do toil labor. Like now the government put a stop to that. They're not allowed to hunt for elephants anymore. That all the all those ancient people are all dead now. So the younger generation, they believe in preservation and saving humane life. So they don't they help preserve, unless the poacher would go out and hunt for the tusk, because elephant tusks are very valuable. And how African governments are now hunting people who are poacher, where they kill elephant for the tusk. And because the tusks are so valuable, they can turn into beautiful jewelry pieces or even furniture. And now elephants are almost extinct. You don't see elephant anymore, though you may see them in the captivities, but that's not where the elephant be. So I grew up witnessing something like that among my grandparents, my great grandparents, and his siblings. So where that's where they're um, taking taking places in the days when I was in my preteens. Because when I left Cambodia, I was about 11. So being around 5 and 6, I already been trained to work in the kitchen, where my mom said, well, if I cannot cook anything, make sure that rice is done. So my brother and I would gather the firewood, and we would go bring the water from the reservoir, and we boil it. And where we were at was no running water, so everything had to come from the ground. Okay, the fruit from the tree off the ground, the fish from the river off the ground. Everything else is organic and natural. In fact, I was born naturally at the farmhouse, because my mom was in full term, was in the month of January, where majority of rice farmers would gather their rice or harvest their rice. This is where um, my dad only grew one seasonal rice. For those who have enough land, they only need to do just one seasonal of growing. People who have less land, then they would do at least 2 or 3 seasonal of growing to get enough grain to feed the family, or even sell it to the market. But my dad, he grew enough to sell commercially to the rice to the rice producer. I mean, what you call them? Merchants. After he saved it for the family, after he saved it for the seedlings. So when they said that there was no use for money, for real, there was not much that we can buy, because the only thing that we bought that essentially need is the gas, the light and gas. In fact, on the farm, I don't even know what English would call it, but there's certain trees that produce sap, okay, and sap is full of octane, and this sap just spilled out of the trees. It just like, it is a natural occurrence, and it smelled like gas. And once it spilled out, it spilled out just like volcanic eruption. It just started to drip from, it just started to drip from the tree itself, and it's brownish, and then what my grandparent and my parent did was that they gathered a whole bunch of it, and would form it to a torch, and that's how we use it for lighting, because we didn't have electricity in the day. I mean, because we weren't in Battambang in the city, so we don't have all those fancy stuff. But we use natural gas, where we can buy natural gas from the merchants. This is what I learned about Cambodia. Okay, so it's merchant on wheels. Okay, people would travel miles into the village and sell their products. Or what my parents did in the day was that they would take down the crops into the city and sell it to the merchants, or to the productions merchants. And once they gather the money, and they will go to the market and buy whatever we need, like an ongoing thing. So that's what I remember. So all the merchants who sell the product, they came in the big loads of either. Yes, Lucy. Yes, you go ahead. Yes, you can eat it. Okay. So sorry, um, for the interruption. You're welcome. Okay, I have some. Thank you. I ate one already. I have some. I bought some earlier. I'll cook it. Mm-hmm. I'll make dessert tomorrow if the baby is good. Sorry. Where was I? I don't like interruption because, um, so I okay it's not due to the aging that I'm forgetful. Okay, I was I had this chronic illnesses that I was diagnosed with like really rare conditions that caused the vertigos. And at the year that it was happened, I think I told a story before. I took too many fall and hit in my head, and I I developed amnesia. You know, just so I have a lot of great idea. I have to write it down or I have to remember it. But if I'm talking, if I get interrupted, then I forget, and so that's why when I talk, I have to talk fast. Why my memory is still good. You know, if it get interrupted and that's it, it just the information just flew out of my head. You know, I apologize about that. I think I was talking about um, the natural gas that gas out from the tree. So I could have Googled before I came on here to give you that information. So so together this sap uh, that is the natural gas type of thing that came out from the big tree. Okay, so it gas out like big lump of the natural current that came out like a bucket of it. You know, I mean, I don't know where it came from. It came out by itself. It was just like there's a hole in the tree. Okay, so that thing I don't know was just came from the bottom of the earth or the tree that caused it. But but believe me, it worked though. You know, they they wrap it in the palm leaves. I think they tied it, and then we just turn it to the torch. So that's how we keep the light lit in our home, or natural gas, or just wood burning. So it was basic. It was just like where I came from. It just like what would you call it? It's just like stone age, stone age, you know. But guess what? That's all I learned. That's what I know. That's all I thought there was. That's all we have, right? But little I know, it was more than that when I discovered somewhere else. So the first time my parent took me to the movie in the city, right? So I never been to the theater before. So but but when people who don't get to visit the theater will come to you. In other words, uh, each time when there's a big event at the temple or so, or at the monastery, um, the the theater people, the movie production people will bring the whole crew, uh, big screen like an open air, just like what would you call it in America? Uh, what would you call it in America? It's outdoor movie, you know, the big screen. So, and it's powered by generators. So it was hard to hear the movie anyway because the generator was so loud and so busting. So I experienced that in Thailand also, and in Cambodia when the big event at the temple, or if it's the wedding or funerals, and those get rented, or the but the one that at the temple, they sold ticket to go in. So what I did was that my family did, we just took a mattress and blanket and pillows. So sometime when we have event that lasts for 7 days, especially New Year will last about 7 days. So there will be it'll be outdoor theater for 7 days, not just a theater. There will be live performance. There'll be a lot of food, a lot of festivities, a lot of with the boxings, and concerts, and it's like a big festivities. It's a lot of fun. I remember when in the middle of movie, I think we all, well, we in Cambodia, we don't have anything to stay up late to watch. My dad had the radios, and sometimes we we hear the music, or we turn on to the performance or something. And not every household has radio though. I remember when the villager would come to my dad's house, and um, to listen to the news or listen to the performance, and that lasts for a couple hours and episodes, and that was fun. I mean, it happened like that when I was in Vietnam, like in 1992 when I first went to Vietnam. um, I went to my family went to rent the screen and the projector, and the whole village came to enjoy the show, the little videos or movie that was shown. So something like that was like special, not like here we now we just watch everything on live, watch everything online. So we have everything so much is that we get tired of it. But in some country in the olden day, now I think Vietnam, Cambodia, they're pretty much where we at. I rem- I saw now that the muddy road to go to the farm now all pavement. They don't ride on the oxen anymore. They were driving the truck to the farm. I'm so impressed. And when I went to the farm with my family, I was looking for I was looking for water buffalo. I was looking for cow. And I said, "Oh, where are the cows?" What cow? We have machine cow now. We don't have cow anymore. I said, "What happened to the cow?" Um, we don't have cow anymore. I said, "Though, how do you farm then?" Well, we rented the tractors, the plower, and all that. I'm like, uh, what about the rice paddies? Sometimes we hired people from the village to do rice paddy. Other than that, we don't do rice paddy anymore. I'm like, what happened? Said, oh, it's been 50 years since I left the country. Things had changed. Um, I was like, wow, really? And when I first visited the home country, we went to in Thailand where my family saw. And this is before the border dispute, so it was friendly. So my uncle and my cousin took me to their farm, to the rice field. So for my childhood memory, this is what we discover, is that there was so plenty of shrimps, not lobsters, the shrimp, the little tiny shrimps, crab, frog, fish between the rice paddies, right? So I was I was at the farm with my family, the rice field with my cousin, and I said, "Hey cousin, let's go catch some some farm crab. And she looked at me like, what? Farm crab? Snails, water snail. I said, she told me, we don't have any of that thing anymore. I said, what happened? She was saying that because they were using too much of a pesticide. So they kill all the crabs, all the natural habitat. There's no more crab. There was no more snail. There was no more frog. I'm like, that's sad because I remember when my dad farm, there was plenty of fish coming around because rice farm is different than any kind of farm. Okay, so in order to said hi to you too, yes, said hi to all of you. Welcome. So I'm just having a conversation and working on my beanies, my square beanies. So I remember that to grow the rice, it had to have hydraulic system where they built the canal in like in a triangle or in the square, in the circle, and trap the water to irrigate the crops or the rice, the crops. And then when the when the monsoon rain comes like it does, it causes all the flooding. It bring fish, it bring living organism, it bring all of that goodness from the bottom of the Tonle Sap or the Mekong River or the ocean itself. Because when the monsoon come, it flooded. Okay, I think I shared that experience with you guys before that. I used to fish from my own kitchen because the water level was so high. So they still do it now. You know what I mean? In Thailand, especially now, they've been under the water for like 4 months already. It was so sad. I didn't want to even see it anymore. So when the monsoon comes, the rain comes, the water comes, and that's why you see the rice field. They divide into two acres of land where it's trapped in the four corner because to trap the water so that it it will help nourish the rice. I remember when the time when growing up in my dad's farm, we don't even need any of the things. And I don't remember my dad used any kind of fertilizer. Everything was organic. Now everything is so different. So they were laughing at me and asking me, what do you remember? I said, I remember when growing up on my dad's rice farm, it was like plenty of fish, plenty of living organism, the crab, the farm crabs and the shrimps and the fish was plenty, the eels and the turtles was plenty. And now that no more, we don't have those things. I don't want any of that thing. Of course you don't. Because my cousin was a lot younger than I am. I'm almost as old as their dad, only a few years older than their dad. So my cousins is only in their 30, about the same age of my kids. So yeah, so now I go back home to Cambodia, same thing. Well, in Cambodia, it's about the same as far as the natural resource that went extinct, and that because human causes it. No, I don't have any more land to go to. My farms are taken. I don't remember where the farm situated anymore when I left. too long already, and it's already taken. So I don't know where my dad farms and my dad homes are, and the village are now turned upside down, and the new development and all that. So even able to visit my birthland, it would just, oh no, my cousin told me that when we were traveling along the freeway going through that little village, my cousin was telling me that, hey, this is where the grandpa house is. And I said, where? I said, down to the right. Can we visit? So it was dark at the time, so I didn't get to visit my grandfather home. And my birth town was a little bit further down. I didn't get to visit neither. So maybe next time when I visit to Cambodia, I will spend the whole 30 calendar days and really visit my birthplace. It was so melancholy, because it's just like it's so nostalgic. It's so just like the memories are there, but it's fainted now because it's been a long time. But then minute you step onto that land, you feel it, you feel a sense of belonging, feel at home, even it's not there anymore, still feeling at home. So I don't know. I don't know if you ever have to leave your home or move out of your home or move out from your parent to go to college or start your own family, and you still have that nostalgic feelings, like your bedrooms, how you set your bedrooms, how your kitchens, and the smell of apple pie, and when you sit to be on your own journeys and you in different environment, and remember Christmas coming home, the turkey on the table and baked hams on the kitchen, and then the same way, I feel the same way. I feel that we feel that nostalgic, something that we never forget is, and it's not replaceable neither. Some of these memories that we carry with us, it's not replaceable. It's never going to be replaceable because the memory that we grew up with, just like me leaving Cambodia, it was difficult. And I have a lot of feelings. I mean, I have a lot of memories living in the camp, but it's not a very good memory because, well, I can't say it's not good memories. I have some good memories of learning to do all these things, learn how to cook, learn how to crochet, sew, knit. I learned the language, I learned the culture, I learned how to cook, how to crochet, how to knit, how to what else? Carve and food carving. So there's some good memory there. Though it was in a refugee camp, it was inadequate, it was enough of anything, but then it will still have the long lasting effect, because but I have some bad memories also, of being abused and being rejected in Thailand. Though there's a lot of good people that I met, but there's some bad one also. The kind of bully, and especially when we have to go in a group to gather the water um, from the public places. We have to go through certain village or certain neighborhood, and I remember that they just let out their dog chasing after us. You know, it was not even nice because dog in Thailand and Cambodia, they're not being kept. They running around. The dog just attacks anybody that they are not friendly with. I remember when it got chased by the dog, the faster you run, the faster the dog will catching up with you. They said, well, if you being attacked by the dog, don't run. If you run, then you provoke their their fears. I said, I'm not crazy. I'm not gonna stand there being bitten by crazy dog. And dog in those countries, they don't have any kind of um, vaccination, and if you get bitten by one of those dogs, and then can get infected with rabies, and it's crazy. Yeah, those memories I remember, because remember being chased by the dog. See, so the dog listened to the owner, so the owner could command, said, hey, and then you stop it. But they didn't do that. You know, they provoke and dog and say, go get it, get it, get it, get it, bite it, bite it, bite it. You know, crazy dog. They listen to the owner. So with my dog, I used to have dog too, and the dog, they obedience. When our dog didn't get chained up, because we live in the village where dog knew everybody, and dog knew all the dog in the village, so they don't bite, they don't bring harm to us. But then it also would take command. I remember this incident uh, where somebody was visiting my dad, and we went home. So our dog was home, and when we got to the house, I heard the voice, the the man's voice calling us from the top of the trees. So when we got to where the voice is coming from, and he was telling us that he had to climb the tree because the dog tried to bite him. So I was like, oh, okay, that's the best place to hide from the dog, because dog can't climb tree like cheetah does, you know. So I remember doing that too. You know, if the dog is being chased by the dog, it can grab one of the um, tree branch and then climbs. Yeah, but that's a fun memory though. You know, being chased by the dog. Uh, growing up in those nations is a lot harder than here in America. You know, people say, well, growing up in America don't teach as much. If you learn anything, you will learn from Oxford or Yale University to become somebody important. But then we miss out all the fun facts and all the what you call it, all the life skill, you know, because if you have PhD degree and you haven't gone through what I went through, so I'm not saying I'm better, but when I look back, I said, dang, you know, I mean, I don't get to do this in America. You know, I got chased by crazy people here too. I remember when I was in high school, shoot, I was involved in so many fights. And that's because I didn't understand what they were saying to me. But if it was friendly, then I would consider it. But if it's not friendly, they start speeding or start telling me to go home where I just got back, where I got no home to go to. You know, but the people those days was kind of mean and 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 inconsiderate, and because they have that xenophobic about stranger people coming to the country that they're not familiar with, you know. But then knowing America, that they have dealt with immigration all their life, because all of us are immigrants, save for, you know, I mean, save for the indigenous, um, the good Indian folks who've been here before us, you know, I mean, God put them here first, and they're probably just nomadic people who just roam around from I don't know where. You know, there's no, I can't go back and trace the history. But then whoever came here first, maybe they were the first descendant of Adam and Eve and the 12 tribe of Israel. You know, that when the earth split and they were here first, and you know, I mean, they were here by the direction of God and till the earth and collect the honey and what have you, and then and go back to the biblical where we are the Gentile people who are not from a part of, we are not of Israelite, where we in Israel. Anybody who are not Israel considered a Gentile. So all of us are Gentile unless you being born in Israel or Israelite, then you consider Israelites, not Gentile. Well, I'm just saying what the Bible was saying, okay? So I learned this because I joined the church. I joined Christian church, so I learned a little bit, and I was born into the Buddhism. So I think I told the story before, because um, I don't understand much of. I was too young to understand the Buddhism concept, or even Buddhism uh, doctrines. I just we just taught to to build merit by being loving, be kind, being helpful, being generous, being benevolent, being loving, being helpful, being kind in word, thought, and actions. The same thing for Christianity. You know, we believe in love and respect, and in fact, Christ even taught us to love thy enemies. If you're being struck with one blow on the left cheek, then go ahead and let him blow on your right cheek. I'm like, dang, what happened to me? You know, I mean, here, go ahead. Go ahead. Now, I wasn't very Christian like when I first came to America. I was like, I didn't learn anything about Christianity then. I was still Buddhism, thinking about, yeah, if someone hurt me, if I strike them back, and then the karma will be on me. I will be born of a dog. I'll be born of whatever it is. You know, I said, I don't care, because if someone hurt me, I have the right to defend myself. In fact, I did that so many times. Off the school campus and out of school campus. I don't know why I was fighting so much. I thought I should have doing the Asian boxing, you know, join the rings, and I would have become champ. But then no, I could have. But then it was not the best fight, believe me. You think that I'm skinny now? In the day in high school, I was a lot skinnier. I was only 108 pounds. So trying to fight somebody who's like 150 pound, 160 pound, I'm like, he'll pull me by the hair. Exactly, it is what they do, you know, pull it by the hair, because my hair was a lot longer. So, you know, I got pulled a lot. Pulled my hair. I remember at the fight, my hair was like this. It was a lot longer. So after the fight, my hair was like disheveled. Like, I went home crying to my dad, to my neighbor, to my but the thing is that, you know, if I initiated, if I was to start the fight, I would have gotten kicked out of high school already, or get my expulsion. But because I didn't initiate it, so even I got involved in the fight, sometimes they would suspend me, like Saturday detention, and remember I had to walk mile to go to my Saturday detention. It was like fine, you know. That's how I learned. When I was in Thailand, it was different. I never got to attend school in Cambodia, because the Cambodian the school system and Thailand school system are same way. They they believe in capital punishment. Capital punishment. So what they do is that this is what the parent would tell the teacher, the principal said, well, my kid is yours now. Okay, whatever you do, make sure you leave me some bones of these kids. That was scary, right? Whatever you do, leave me some bones, meaning that you go ahead and discipline however fit. So I remember in Thailand, right? Because we live on farms and we have to walk miles to get to school in rain. Sometimes, a lot of time it's in rain because it's a monsoon season. So we walk across the rice field, the canal. Sometimes we walk shortcut through the old cemetery with the, yeah, it was scary. So So then it was muddy, and then they were checking for soil in the nail. So I live on farm. Sometimes we do rice paddy and all that stuff. So the nail have to be like short, short. There's no dirt. There's no drag. It have to be clean. The hair have to be short. The nail have to be trimmed. The toenail have to be trimmed. If any appearance of filthiness, and this is what they do to us. Okay, so you form fingers in this format here, and then the teacher come with the stick or the ruler. So here we go. If they found dirt on your toe, they go on your toe. They find dirt on your uniform, they get on you on your butt. So they whip you. Okay, so I got this all the time because I live on a farm. You expect, and yeah. So I got hit all the time. So I love my first grade teacher when I was in Thailand. So one day I was like, I'm done with these teachers are so mean, because almost like on the time where before school start, they have us stay in line for the flag ceremony. So everybody stay in line neatly, and we recite the flag song. And then at the same time, after all that ceremony is done, they inspect us. They inspect the headlights, they inspect the nail, the toe for cleanliness and all that. And for those who have a little mud in their fingernail because they failed to clean the nail or keep the nail short. So basically, keep the hair short if there's headlights and it's easy to control.